Welcome back everyone. Today is not about French food, we're gonna do some Italian food. It's a bit different from your usual, so it's a little bit different than usual, but you know what? It's a dish that I absolutely love and it's perfect for weekdays. You can make it for, I think, under 20 minutes. It's the pasta alla carbonara. You've seen it so many times on so many channels using cream, using bacon, just trying to make a whole mess of it. So let's make the most traditional one, or at least as traditional as we can, when you're not Italian and when you don't have guanciale. But I'll get to that later. Let's get cooking. To make a good carbonara, you need to actually get very few ingredients, but they have to be of quality. So let's talk about them. First of all, we have the pasta. This pasta is straight from Italy. It is a spaghetti, and if you see at the bottom of the package, it does mention the fact that it's being dried slowly. That does matter a lot actually. Other pasta may be dried with machine and industrial heat, and it's not as good for your digestion system. We are not meant to be eating gluten, and that's why we have so many gluten allergy. So the least we can do to our body is to actually treat it with better ingredients. Slow drying is gonna take its time. It's meant to be this way. It's been done like this in Italy for a very long time for a reason. On top of it, this one is done with a bronze extruder, which is the highest quality and the best way to do so. So it's gonna be a little bit more expensive, but trust me, it's gonna make a massive difference in the recipe. Next is the cheese. You could use a Parmigiano Reggiano, but I think it's better if you stick to a Pecorino. Very similar cheese in the way, they have the same texture. They're both very delicious and salty cheese, and you're gonna bring this wonderful texture to the pasta. And again, make sure you get the proper stuff. Don't use some random mozzarella or even some Parmesan, like it says Parmesan. No, get Parmigiano Reggiano if you have to get another one, and make sure it's of the highest quality once again. The next more important is the meat. Traditionally, you have to use a guanciale. Guanciale is the cheek, right? So it's a cured cheek from the pork. Alternatively, and because my butcher sadly ran out of guanciale, they are still curing, they didn't have any ready, I'm gonna use a pancetta. Okay, pancetta is the pork belly, also from the pork, which is the next best thing for your carbonara. Okay, so sadly, no guanciale, still going to be okay with pancetta, but don't get bacon. Okay, get the proper stuff too. This one is also from Italy, has the pasta and has the cheese. And lastly, we have the eggs. They are not from Italy, but they are of the highest quality. You do want a proper farmed eggs. Chicken that have been running, that's in day of light, again, may as well use a good quality egg as there's so little ingredients. And finally, black pepper. Please do not use pre-ground pepper. Try to get fresh black pepper and use a pepper mill, and we're gonna grind it so we have all the essential oil for this dish. All right, that's a lot of explanation for a small amount of ingredients, but trust me, it's the recipe. Without these ingredients, we are not gonna have something traditional, and it's definitely not gonna taste like Italy if it doesn't come from Italy.
First, we'll remove the skin from the pancetta, and we are not going to throw it away because we're gonna put it in our pasta water later. We'll then cut some slices, and then from here, we'll do some lardon or like batons, depending on what you want to do. You could also dice it. Which one I actually use guanciale, this will be the cut I will make.
Now that the pancetta is cut, let's render it, and we're gonna make sure we do not waste that fat.
Best way to do so is to start in a cold pan. It's gonna start rendering nicely. There's so much fat in there, you definitely do not to add any. It's gonna start to crisp up, and as I mentioned, you definitely want to keep that fat. We'll toss the pasta in it later. Then we're gonna put it on 2 paper towels, gonna crisp up gently. While the pancetta is cooling down, we're gonna start working on the egg mixture. I'm going to mix 2 whole eggs with 2 egg yolks. Of course, the mixture depends on the amount of pasta you're cooking, but this is about 4 portions. Once we've mixed our eggs, we're gonna start working on the pecorino. We're gonna remove the rind and then microplane it.
Let's mix the cheese that we just grated with some of our egg and egg yolks to create that mixture. It's going to wrap and coagulate around the pasta and make it that creamy, delicious sauce later on.
And we'll also add some black pepper, and trust me, you want to be generous with it. It is one of the flavor profile of the dish.
A really important step is obviously to cook the pasta. And let's make sure we reserve some of the pasta water for later. It's absolutely crucial, so don't forget.
Something else that is crucial is that you make sure your water is nicely seasoned with salt. Then we'll add our pasta in, and as you remember, the skin that we reserved from the pork belly is going to add some extra flavor into the water. When the pasta is cooked 2/3 of the way, this is when I'm gonna grab the water.
Okay, now that the pasta is cooked, we're gonna have to go very quickly. And now it's a matter of just get it done together so nothing overcooked and everything is hot at the table.
There's not such a thing as cold carbonara, so we're gonna place the pasta in the pancetta fat and we're gonna toast them around. We'll then add some of the pasta water we reserved to lay out a bit of the egg mixture, and then we're gonna add our spaghetti, and then we're gonna start mixing it vigorously. And I prefer using my long tweezer as I do not want to damage the pasta. Once we've mixed it, I'm gonna add more of the pasta water and the pancetta, that crisp up, or in your case the guanciale, and we're gonna mix that up until it becomes creamy. We pretty much are gonna make a sauce, so forget about the cream. Look at that, you do have a beautiful sauce, nice, rich and creamy, and the hot pasta water plus the egg is gonna create an emulsion that we love from carbonara. Then time to plate up. I'm gonna place my pasta first, then some of the sauce, the pancetta, and we're gonna finish it with, of course, more pecorino and even some black pepper. And you can put as little or as much as you want. And as they say, buon appetito.
And here we have it, the most iconic spaghetti alla carbonara. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, as authentic as it can be when not made by an Italian guy. But anyway, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on another episode. Recipe will be in the caption down below. Let me know in a comment where we'd like to see next on the channel. It doesn't have to always be French. In the meantime, this can't wait, so I'm gonna have to appreciate it, and I will see you soon.